In previous class we have discussed about how to print any message in JavaScript, right? And here we have seen some basic example, that is a variable name is MCA having the value 20 and variable college is AITM. So here I have taken two kinds of variables. One is it will hold the value 20 and another one it will hold the string type characters. But to hold integer and a string we will define only one common variable, that is variable name is var. That variable name is what? var, right? It's common. It may be you are using what? It may be integer or it may be string. Then commonly you have to use this var keyword, right? Then followed by variable name, that is your choice. Here I have taken two variables, one is MCA, another one is college, right? And here if you assign like this, then it will consider this variable as a string type. Okay, in C and C++ and Java we have using different kinds of data types, right? Int, char, float, like that. But here you can use, it depends on what values you are giving. Okay, now I want to print these values. Document.write, it's our printf statement in JavaScript, right? Then inside you can write as your choice. Here I am writing variable MCA is. Then to print the value from variable you just use plus followed by variable name. Similarly here document.write, then variable college is, then value is what? AITM. So it is storing on which variable? College. So plus COLGE. Then close your script. These will going to allow to write inside the JavaScript. I mean script tag you have to use, right? And I one more consider the example. Now here I want to print the number. Addition of two number is 30. To print number like this, here we are performing basic arithmetic operation, that is addition of two numbers. To compute these two addition of numbers, then we will use three variables. To define a variables we have data type is int, so common variable, with the help of common variable we are defining three variables. Take three variables, that is x, y, z. So var, keyword is var, followed by x, give the value 10, followed by y, then give the value 20, and to store the result we have to use z. Now perform the operation addition of two numbers. So here we have to write z is equal to ax plus y, then we will get the result and store it on variable z. Now print this variable. How to print? Using document.write method. Document.write followed by addition of two number is, then here result is storing on which variable? Z. So we have to display z right there like this. Okay, I think you have understood this concept. Now let me write from my understanding. You write like this. Addition of two number is 30, then addition of subtraction of two number is -10, then multiplication of two number is 200. So how to write these outputs? To display these output, how to write a program? So in previous examples you have taken three variables, right? One is x, another one is y, and another one is z. Now here I am performing same variables, I am performing three outputs. One is addition, another one is subtraction, another one is multiplication, isn't it? So how to write a code for this? Can anyone know? And I have also given a hint. Take 5 variables x, y, and add, subtraction, multiplication. So will you define these variables? So are you writing these examples? I told to take 5 variables, 2 variables, that is x and y, to assign the values, that is 10 and 20. Then 3 variables, add, subtraction, multiplication. Then perform the operations like this. Want to add 2 numbers, so use add variable is equal to x plus y. Then want to make subtraction, then sub is equal to x minus y. Then multiplication, mul is equal to x star y. Then print the results like this. So use document.write, addition up to number, document.write, subtraction up to number, and last one document.write, multiplication of 2 number. Are you writing this code, Sujit? Sujit? Okay, the next one is JavaScript can be divided into 3 parts. One is core, another one is client, and another one is server. So in JavaScript we are going to divide 3 parts. One is core, client side, and server side. So core is the heart of language, including its operators, expressions, statements, and subprograms. These all are belongs to core part. Then in client side, it is a collection of objects that support the control of browser and interactions with the users. So to understand this concept, you first have to write the previous examples. Without understanding the previous examples, you will not going to understand this concept. Simple answer. Okay. Now the server side JavaScript is a collection of objects that make the language useful on the web server. If you want to store or if you want to fetch the data from web server, then you have to write a script. That script you can call server side JavaScript. Or if you want to interact with the users, I mean to display a login form, like login form, username and password, and click on submit button. So these actions you can call in client side. So it has to appear in your browser, and if it is appear in your browser means you are interacting with the server. So this part will belongs to client side. Okay. Now client and server belongs to core part of the JavaScript. So what is the use of JavaScript? So we can call it as a benefits of JavaScript. It is widely supported in web browsers. Every web browsers will going to support your JavaScript. And it gives easy access to the document objects and can manipulate most of them. Manipulate means what? Computing. You can understand in this way, computing or calculating. Both are same meaning. Okay. It is with the help of JavaScript, we can access the document in easy way. Without JavaScript, we cannot access any data from the database, right? So it can give interesting animations. Here animations also possible to write in JavaScript without the long download times associated with many multimedia data types. Here we can use many data types like multimedia. Okay, so with these help we can easily access, we can easily manipulate, we can easily implement our project with the help of JavaScript. Okay. Now web surfers Surfers don't need a special plugin to the JavaScript. Surfers means who? Surfers means you all are surfers who are accessing your website. Then we can call it as surfers. JavaScript is relatively secure. It is what? Secure. JavaScript can neither read from your local hard drive nor write to it, and you cannot get a virus infection directly from JavaScript. So that's why it is called secure. Do you know how to access the code in different kinds of website? In that you can easily access your HTML code, not JavaScript code. Remember this. You can access easily any codes of what? Only HTML codes, not JavaScript codes. It is hidden from the developer. Only admin can access JavaScript code. Apart from the admin, users can only get part of HTML code. Do you know how to get the codes from different websites? Which website it is? VTU website, right? So by default you can get all this code what they are presenting here, how they have written these codes. You can easily get. When you will get, if they are mentioning these all are HTML tags, so you can easily access, you can easily get HTML tags, but not JavaScript code. See, now I am getting this page code. See here. Here what I am getting, these all are HTML code. Inside these HTML codes they have written. You can simply copy and paste this in your file. You will have a page like this, same file, but you are not getting JavaScript file. JavaScript file is hidden. So you are aware about this div tag, right? Div tag they are using to make the sections of your main web page, and they are using class selectors, right? And here they are also using CSS file. See here, CSS file. This file you will not get because it is hidden from the developer, and also they are using script, JavaScript. See here, what we are discussing, this is JavaScript code. This file is showing here because they are mentioned this file in HTML file. So you are getting this kind of information. But apart from this they are using a code like this, includes JS, script.js. This code you will not get anything from this code because it is hidden by admin. We are not including this code in main HTML file, so it will not show you. If we use this scripting code in the HTML file, we can easily get. You just copy paste this code what they are written here. It is based on HTML code. Once you copy and paste in your browser, then run this file, so you will get the information. This same page you will get. Apart from scripting concept you will not get. So that's why JavaScript is secure. JavaScript is secure. I will show another example for you. So now I am taking the Google. So by default your Google page will show like this, right? Google, then one search box, then two buttons you are getting. Two buttons, right? And here to display page, exact page like this, then you simply access their HTML code. Simply access their HTML code like this. You just copy and paste in your laptop. If you want to know, you can just copy and paste it, give the heading HTML, same code you can copy and paste, then you will get the page like this, because these all are using HTML form, HTML code. HTML code is not secure. We can access any web pages. Are you getting what I am saying? Hello? Now, okay. Now I told one concept, that is you were using form tag, right? Form action. Now observe here, form action tag is there. Form. All of you seen this, right? Form action. Now inside the action they have given /search. /search they have given. This is root. You can call this slash, you can call root. To which root? Search root. If you type here something, then if you click on this button, after clicking this button it will take to where? Search button, search root. Then which method you are using here? Get method. Means you are getting some information from the server. So method you are using get, right? So form action like this you have to give. Now you are using only simple double quotes you are using, right? Simply double quotes you are using, means nothing you are doing, just you are creating simple login form. Once you create the login form, then you have to mention the action, what action it has to taken when you click on button. That is the meaning. Okay, so now we'll come to that. This JavaScript is relatively secure. We cannot access this code once we have written in separate file. We have to maintain a separate file, then we have to just attach that script file to HTML file. Okay, so this is one benefits, main important for JavaScript. Now what are the problems you are facing with JavaScript? Most scripts rely upon manipulating the elements of DOM, document object model. DOM means document object model. Support for a standard set of objects currently doesn't exist, and access to objects differs from browser to browser. Suppose you are using a Chrome browser, some features will not going to support Chrome browsers, and some features will only support to Chrome browsers and Firefox browsers, right? If you want to access any application, web application, they will clearly mention, right? Use Chrome browsers, use Firefox browser, use UC browsers, like that they will clearly mention, because some JavaScript script will not support their features what they have implemented in their project. Okay, so that we can call objects differs from browser to browser. So it is a main problem we are facing with JavaScript. These all are problems. Okay, if your script doesn't work, then your page is useless. Obviously, suppose if you want to click one button, after clicking that button it has to work. If it is not work, no, then your script is useless. Problems because of the problems of broken scripts, many web servers disable JavaScript support in their browsers. Web servers means you all are servers. Script can run slowly and complex script can take a long time to start off. So while writing these scripts, suppose while getting the results, what will happen? You all are aware about these, right? Once university declared your result, what will happen? You are searching your USN to get the result. So what will happen? Server slow or page not found, like that message you have, right? While seeing your result immediately. So that time what will happen? You are scripting what they have written that in a script. When you click on submit or get a result button, so it will display page is not found, try again, server is slow. So due to what? Slow script, it will run slowly, script will run slowly, so you will get a message like that, right? So these all are problems with the JavaScript. Now the difference between Java and JavaScript. What is the difference? So Java and JavaScript, it is a programming language. We can call Java as a programming language, and JavaScript we can call a scripting language. It is called scripting language, and it is strongly typed language. It is dynamically typed language. I told you this difference. Why? Typed language, I mean statically typed language and dynamically typed language. In dynamically typed language, once you define where with variable, it may accept integer or it may accept string. But here, if you type int, then it will only accept integer number, not string. To accept a string, you have to define data type as string, right? It is called typed, or you can call statically typed language. It is called dynamically typed language. Types are known at compile time. Here, types are known at compile time, means which data types you are using, which values you are going to store. It will going to know when compilation time. But here compile time type checking is impossible. There is no compile at all in scripting language. Directly you will type the codes, I mean tags, then simply will open your browser and run your script, right? So it is, there is no compilation time. Compilation. And objects in the Java are static, here dynamic. Objects in static means particularly you have to mention which type it is, but here you don't need to mention. It is automatically, it will take in dynamic way. Collection of data members and methods is fixed at compile time. Data members are what? Data members are nothing but what? Int, float, char, double, these all are data members. And the methods, you know, different kinds of methods is fixed at compile time, but here number of data members and methods of an object change during the execution. Once you click the buttons, so it will get different kinds of output. So dynamically it will change. Object oriented programming language, it is object based language. Java and JavaScript. So these are main difference between Java and JavaScript. Now this one is important. Event driven computation of JavaScript. Event driven means, what is the meaning for this event driven? So to understand this event driven, now see here, when you what you are going to search, you just type it here, then click on search button. Click on search button. It is what here event is happening. Which event is happening? Search event is happening. Is it clear? event is happening. Event means what? Here you have to type something AITM. Then after typing AITM, you want to search. How to search? Click on button, search button. When you are clicking this button, event is happening. So which event is happened? Click event. Click on event. Click on where? Click on button event is happened. So it is called event. We can call it as event, right? So JavaScript actions are often executed in response to actions of the users of a document, like mouse clicks and form submission. Now we have done mouse click. I have clicked on the button search, right? Google search button. So it is called a mouse click event. Form submission. Form submission means what? Whenever you are making a sign up for in Google account, Gmail account, sign up, so their information you have to fill before sign in, right? To make sign up, username, your mobile number, date of birth, etc. After filling this, you have to click on button. Which button? Submit button. That we can call form submissions. That we can call form submissions. Event happen. This form of computation supports user interactions through the XHTML form elements on the client display. This form, when you click on that submit button or submit a form, then it will move your data, what you have typed in the form, like username, password, phone number. All data will going to store on your server. Which server? If you are accessing Gmail server, Gmail account, so it will go to Gmail server. If you are accessing YouTube after signing, so it will go to YouTube server, like this, right? And user interactions. User interactions means what? After login your Gmail account, it will display your Gmail account, right? In Gmail account, what will happen? You can send the emails to others with the help of compose button. In email you have compose, right? Compose button, like this. So some kind user interactions through XHTML form element. XHTML form element means what here? Form actions, that is username, text box, password box, checkbox, right? Radio buttons. These all are what? XHTML form elements or form tags. We can call tags. One of the common uses of JavaScript is to check the values provided in forms by users to determine whether the values are sensible or not. While submitting, suppose you are trying to log in to Gmail account, right? There first what it is asking? It is asking valid email ID, right? Valid email ID. After giving a valid email ID, what will happen? Suppose if you will type different email ID, wrong email ID, it will not accept. What you have typed, it does not exist, like that it will show, right? Before submitting your values, only it will check whether these all are valid or not. So that is a most common use with the help of JavaScript. That is validation, we can call form validation. Now the program or script on the server that processes the form data must check for invalid input data before submitting the button. Your username does not exist, like that you will get the result from the different websites. When invalid data is found, the server must transmit the information back to the browser. Username and passwords are incorrect, like this message you will have. Since this process is time consuming, we can perform input checks at the client side itself. I mean form validation, form verification. Through these methods we can check it before submitting our data to server. In client side only we will make these changes. That is form validation and form verification we can call it. So if you want to understand these concepts completely, you have to understand the previous examples what we have discussed. Without understanding those concepts, what I am saying, these you will not get anything. Directly I am telling. Now, our characteristics of this syntax, that is script. Here, script can appear directly as the content of script tag. So in style sheet, we are using style tag, right? And here in script we have script tag. The type attribute of script must be set to text and subtype. Subtype is JavaScript. In CSS you are writing text style sheet. Here text JavaScript. Here you have to write this inside the script tag like this. Script followed by type attribute is equal to text or JavaScript. Then which file you want to add, that you can mention in source attribute, SRC, source attribute. Here your file name, you are using JavaScript, so here you have to give the file name .js. Here you have to give the file name what? .js. This file you are going to add with the help of which attribute? SRC attribute. Now close the script tag. This is external JS file I am attaching to HTML file. External JS file. External style sheet. There you have added file name .css, but here you have to add file name .js. In which tag? In script tag. Is it clear? Okay. Now in JavaScript we have 25 reserved keywords. So with the help of these keywords we will going to implement a JavaScript, right? Same way these rules, see, JavaScript identifiers or names must begin with letter or an underscore or $sign, begins, and subsequent characters, I mean followed by maybe letters or underscore or $sign or digits. Same syntax we have studied in Java language, right? So similarly here also same, we have to follow that rule only, but here only we have 25 keywords. In Java we have 50 keywords, right? 50, but here 25 keywords. Now in this keyword, which one you have used in JavaScript? Can anyone tell me which keyword you have used? You haven't used any keyword in JavaScript? VAR, have you used this keyword or not? That's why I am telling. So now we have learned little bit, we have learned this keyword VAR. Now with the help of these keywords we are going to implement our JavaScript, right? Now in addition, JavaScript has a large collection of predefined words. In addition also we have different keywords like alert, open, Java and self. these all are predefined words. Prompt, confirm, okay, these are the different kinds of words also. Apart from 25 reserved keywords, we have these predefined words: alert, confirm, prompt. Okay, and it has two forms of comments. Comments we know, one is single comment, another one is multi-line comment. When two adjacent slashes, we can call these adjacent slashes, appear on line, the rest of the line is considered a comment. So it is single line comment, double slash. To use multi-line comment, we have to use slash followed by star, then star followed by slash. This represents what? Multi-line comments. Or this line also represents single line comment. Okay, these are two kinds of comments. Same we can use in Java and same we can use in JavaScript. But HTML comment is different. There we have to use angle bracket followed by explanation mark, then two hyphens we have to use in HTML code. But in JavaScript and Java we have same comments, double slash and slash followed by star. Now a little bit we will see the primitive types, I mean data types, what we have used in JavaScript. I already told, but once again we will discuss. It has 5 primitive data types in JavaScript. One is number, string, boolean, undefined and null. Number means only it will accept numbers. String, it will only accept characters. Boolean, two values, one is true, another one is false. Undefined and null, we will discuss it further concept. Okay, each primitive value has one of these types, and JavaScript includes predefined objects that are closely related to the number, string, boolean types, named number, string, boolean respectively. These objects are called wrapper object. You can call these wrapper objects. This wrapper we will discuss it on third module. Wrapper, what do you mean by exact meaning of wrapper? Okay, now these what we have, these objects are called wrapper objects. Each contains a property that stores a value of the corresponding primitive type, and the purpose of the wrapper object is to provide properties and methods that are convenient for use with the values of the primitive types. So you just understand there are 5 data types available in a JavaScript, right? So you have to remember those: number, string, boolean, null and undefined. Okay, these all are basically 5 data types. That's it. Now we'll see difference between primitives and object. So what the difference between these? So here this we can call stack memory. You can call this one as stack memory or non-heap memory, and another memory we can call heap memory. Heap memory will be responsible for an object what you have created in Java, right? So you have created the different kinds of object of the particular class. Once you create that object, it will comes under heap memory. In our programming we have 2 memories. One is stack memory, another one is heap memory. Heap memory is for temporary. Stack is little bit permanent in coding, right? So once you assign the value, it will store it on stack memory. This is stack. Non-heap memory you can also call stack. So 17, once you assign the value 17, now you created the object for this variable prim, right? So object will going to allocate a new memory. That memory we can call heap memory. There your 17 will going to store an object variable, right? It is temporary memory, heap memory. Stack memory is also temporary, but as per our coding, when you run our code, it will allocated two kinds of memory. What you have assigned the variable values to variable, that will store in a stack memory. After running your code or execution of code, then your heap memory will going to erase. After executing this program, 17 you have allocated for the object, so it will automatically delete or erase, but remaining this 17 is stay as it is. Once you close your window, then 17 will going to erase. So it is stack memory, and this one is called heap memory. Now we'll see memory can be string literals. I mean, we have discussed in data types, right? Same way we have to use. Integer literals are string of digits. Floating point literals can have decimal points, exponents, or both. I told already, once you use var keyword, with the help of var keyword, use one variable name, then in that variable name you have full rights to store integer or to store string or floating point numbers or exponent. Any numbers, any values you can store with the help of var keyword. So that's why we can call this dynamic language. You can call this JavaScript is dynamic language. Here I am using number 72, 7.2, 0.72, 72, 7e2, 7e2. E here represents exponent. E represents exponent. But in your C and Java program, we have different data types to represent these numbers. But in JavaScript, not like that. One simple word var followed by variable name, we can insert directly these values. No need to refer for particular data types here. Now string literals. In string literals, a sequence of 0 or more characters delimited by either single quote or double quotes. See, once if you want to display a message with the help of single quote and double quote, you have to use these delimiter characters you have to use, that is single quote or double quotes. See here, all of you see this last line, hi, welcome to AITM. I have written like this. Now along this message I want to print single quote. I want to print single quote here. To print single quote, I have to use delimited character. Delimited character means which I am using single quote. To display single quote in our line, we have to use slash single quote. Slash we have to use, or you can use directly single quote. It will not print. It will not print. To print single quote, you have to use delimiter followed by what? Preceded by what? Slash. And string literals can include characters specified with escape sequence such as /n and /t. /n is for new line, /t for tab space. It will allocate one space. If you use T, then if you use N, it will give the next line, right? If you want an actual single quote character in a string literal that is delimited by single quotes, the embedded single quote must be preceded by backslash. To print any single quote on your line, compulsory you have to use slash and single quote. If you want to display single quote, then slash single quote. If you want to display in a double quotes, then slash double quotes. Directly it will not allow to print single quote in JavaScript. Compulsory you have to use delimiter. So these are called delimiter. Okay. Now other primitive types, that is null is the reserved word for null and which indicates no value. Once you declare a variable, then that variable will take dynamic value after running your script. At that time you have to use this variable, right? So by default, once you declare variable as a null, it will null only. After you inserting the value to that particular variable, then you have to assign that declared variable as null, and the value only value of type undefined is undefined. So these concepts will come under in next unit. We'll discuss these two data types, null and undefined, and I will give one example for null and undefined separately. Okay, the only values of type boolean are true and false. This you know, boolean values. Declaring variable. How to declare a variable in JavaScript? A variable can be declared either by assigning it a value or by listing it in a declaration statement that begins with reserved word, that is var. This is keyword, right? We have seen 25 keywords. So with the help of reserved word var, we can declare a variable in JavaScript. To declare variable, compulsory you have to write var. Then you can assign the values, or you can take the values from your keyboard. Choice is yours as per your project requirement. Initial values can be included in var declaration. Initial values also it can be included. Now, declaring variable. Here I have declared a variable MCA with the help of which keyword var. With the help of keyword var, variable name is MCA, value is 20. To write this var, compulsory you need script tag. Script type text or JavaScript. It is subtype. Type is text, subtype is JavaScript. That is the meaning. Then inside the script tag you are eligible to declare a variable with the keyword var followed by variable name followed by value. That's it. To print this value from variable, you should use printf statement. Which kind of printf statement you will use? That is document.write. Document.write variable MCA. This is your understanding purpose. You have to write variable MCA, result is, like that you have to write within double quotes. Then you are printing this value 20, so add the plus symbol followed by variable name is MCA. Then run this code, you will get the result like this. Variable MCA is 20. Variable MCA is 20. Is it clear? At least have you understood this concept or not? Okay. Everyone is clear? Kiran? Kiran? Understood this one? Okay. Now in further coming classes you have very difficult task. So to avoid that difficult task, before you at least know how style sheet will work and what are the different tags. Tags and style sheet are compulsory to understand JavaScript. So in next class I will give small demo on how to use these script in our HTML code. Okay, once you understand that concept, then JavaScript becomes very easily. Is it clear? Okay, Sujit?